Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another cast. Guys, today I have for you a 4v4 on a map called Siberian Breaks. I've never played on this map, I've never casted this map, I've never looked at this map in my life. It personally offends me that it exists. The only thing worse than the players in this community are the map makers. I'm looking at you, Mr. Deox. I don't think you made this map, though. I actually have no idea who made this map. But what I can tell you guys, to my viewers, is that this one is going to be a several hour long game. So I hope you are strapped in. I hope you've got your popcorn, your soda pop, your alcohol, your wine coolers, your Monster energy drinks, your unhealthy pizza, your tea and crumpets, and whatever it is you feast on as you sit on your couch and watch your phone or your television or whatever it is, your computer that you watch me on, because this game is going to deliver. And if it doesn't deliver, you guys can deliver me straight to the gulag, because I promise you this game will be so epic. And one thing I want to say, guys, before we start, you guys didn't have faith. You believed that I was just going to disappear. You thought it was going to be another 3 months before the next video. Ye of little faith, have you no faith? My community, you have to believe in your caster. Here I am, sweating over a hot keyboard, bringing you the hottest Escalation games. And what have you done for me? Nothing. So if you want to do something for me, join our Discord, guys. Come be a part of the community. We're trying to grow, trying to play games, and if nothing else, you can just come hang out, come talk to us, and would love to have you. I'll post the link to that in the description. And with that, I think we've gotten everything out of the way. I think I've blabbered on long enough. Let's jump into it. And first I need to introduce the players, but oh, my poor eyes. You know, I just feel that as the viewer, you should have to suffer with me. It's not enough that my eyes have to be absolutely brutalized. You know, your eyes should also, you know, you should get the Total Annihilation lava pixel treatment, just as I have to. Tasto with an early bombing run, a nice thunder play here. He's got the lightning and the thunder. He's got 2 mexes down already. Wow, that is some nice micro, taking out a 3rd mex and also some wind generators as well. Oh, this man, this is some great bombing, line bombing skills. Tasto, you monster. This thunder already, I would assume, with probably 8 or 9 kills to it. 13 kills to its name, sir. EXE has been teaching Tasto how to bomb in his free time. Somebody please put this thunder out of its misery. It's painful to watch. I'm disgusted by this display of aerial domination. Please, thank you. Thank you so much. That was really good by Tasto. I have to say, that's some of the best bombing I've seen this side of the Nile, or what have you. Guys, I've barely talked about anything so far. How can I have so many words and so little actual content? How does anyone actually watch me? Let's talk about the map a little bit first. This map, it's called Siberian Peaks. I have no idea why it's called that, okay? Don't ask me. Of course, here's the lava that hurts your face. You don't want to look at that. And but there's water as well. Now, in the map description, the author said that as the game progresses, water will become a thing. So naval combat should be part of our repertoire here in probably the next 30 minutes or so. I don't think it'll be anytime soon, but Lord knows that I love some good TA-style naval combat, and I will not turn my nose up at that whatsoever. So please, sir, please bring us our satisfaction. We simply can't live without it. But Tasto, he does attempt a second maneuver. That will be thwarted. I still haven't introduced the players, so all right. We got to stay focused here. This map, Siberian Peaks, 2 land masses separated by a bridge, lava in the middle, so nothing can cross that, not even hovercraft. Air can cross it, I guess, but no land units. Some nice harassment early on by the Eastern team, and then here in the north, of course, like I said, is the water. Now, there's no real objective here. There's no real reason to fight for the water, except for all the juicy metal. All the resources in the water do give the players an incentive to fight for the sea, which, like I said, I would be more than overjoyed to witness that spectacle. And what a spectacle this game, I'm sure, will likely be, as Lemminkainen with a nice early raid attempt on the Eastern team. So I still haven't introduced the players. Just give me a moment here, and I will. I promise I will get to that. As Lemminkainen with a group of AKs, but it looks like with a nice D-gun by Stagma and some fighter support, this attack should be all but doomed. Lemminkainen will continue to stream through AKs, but I can't imagine that's going to get too much done, as the Eastern team is now wise to this, and I'm sure they will be preparing their countermeasures in due time. So let's go ahead and introduce the players, because this game has already been action-packed and it's only 7 minutes in. Here in pink we have Stagnation, the father of the famous Stag Jr. So yeah, here in pink we have him. He's a really solid, pretty well-rounded player. Here in yellow, Lemminkainen, one of the best of the best of the best. Sir, he is so good. And he's especially good in these team games, and he's especially good at rushing T3. I don't know how he does it. He's just a very good macro-oriented late-game style player, but he also is great at raiding. He's just kind of good at everything, okay? As you can see, all phases of the game, Lemminkainen shines. He really has no clear weakness as a player, so that's something you never want to be on the receiving end of. Lemminkainen, he's back in force with a impressively sized group of AKs. Of course, we're not measuring, okay? Don't get insecure, but it is an impressively sized squad of yellow mechs. But it does seem like the Eastern team will clear most of this up. However, he does get the light laser tower and the 4 mexes, and Stagma will push this off. But I won't say that attack was a waste. It did at least inflict a minor amount of economic damage. Of course, nothing permanent, as Stagma will quickly rebuild. But okay, here in dark green we have Zuki 500. I don't know this player. He's probably just someone new. Tasto in red, who we've already discussed his credible bombing expertise within the first few minutes of the game. And yeah, here in pink, Stagnation moving through with a impressive force of MAKs, and he's got some air defense as well. MAK is like the tier 1.5 unit in Escalation. These did not exist in OTA in the 3.1c patch that Cavedog made before they went the way of the dodo bird. So this is an Escalation exclusive unit. Very, very strong on T1. Of course, they are expensive. And they're somewhat slow as well, but they're kind of like mini cans. That's how I'd describe them. They're like a cheaper T1 version of the can. And guys, I'm missing some action here in the water, so I do apologize for that. There's just too much going on. And yeah, I still haven't finished introducing the players. Okay, so here in green, Bright green, we have Conflict Crusher. Again, I think this is a newer player, or maybe a Smurf of some kind, but probably just a newer player. Guys, we have new players joining the community all the time. Please join the Discord. Come be part of the community. We accept people of all skill levels. If I can play this game in all my trashy glory, then you can play it too. Stagnation, really close to getting a plant with that. That was a good attack. It's a nice movement with some MAKs there, and I think he will fall just short of getting the aircraft plant, but he still took out all these mexes, this whole line of mexes, all the way down, and he's still going. How many kills does this bad boy have? We'll never know. But either way, yeah, Stagnation with a very, very nice early attack there. So here in purple, we have Viper. Here in blue, we have Stagma, who I already mentioned. And in light blue, we have, of course, Walker, who needs no introduction. My boy Walker, the Rage Master, the Master Blaster, Mr. Walker. So, guys, that is your players. It only took me, let's see, 12 minutes to get there. But I promise you, we will get there. We will get there one way or another. I will have my satisfaction, and so will you. The naval combat is already beginning, ahead of schedule, in fact. I did not expect the players to enter the sea anytime within the first 30 minutes. I figured the land battle would be more important. But still, Mr. Pink, Mr. Stagnation has been... God, he has been wrecking Green's base. Look at this. Still MAKs moving through, and now he might even get the aircraft plant. Oh, he just gets it right before he dies. That is so devastating. Guys, if you don't know, early on, factories are so expensive. Like, building an aircraft plant takes everything you have. And so if your enemy destroys it, it is such a crippling blow to your production and your economy, because you got to rebuild it. I mean, of course you can reclaim it, but it takes a long time. So I have to say, so far the Western team is certainly doing better. The early game, aerial dominance by Mr. Tasto, and then of course Stagnation's wonderful T1 play with the MAKs in particular. But the game is far from over, my friends. Of course, light blue has entered the water, and he's got 2 shipyards pumping out a fleet of monsters. But Lemminkainen also attempting to get into the sea, but it may be a little bit too late, because he has been found by Walker. Walker has discovered him, and Walker with this nice army of searchers, about 8. Those will perhaps push Lemminkainen out of the sea, and that would be pretty unfortunate for him. I have to say, it's not a situation you want to be in. Once you get pushed out of the sea, it can be very, very difficult to get back in, but Lemminkainen, really, jack of all trades here. He's in the sea, he's in the air, and I'm sure he's on the ground as well. Let's see what he's got going here. Oh no, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't see any labs. I figured he'd have a K-bot lab of some sort. Oh, he does. Here it is. So yeah, Lemminkainen, jack of all trades. He's in the sea, he's in the air, he's on the land, he's in your home. And Tasto also entering the fray as well, attempting to enter the fray. Ooh, this nicely placed LLT. Attempting to defend Tasto's expansion into the sea, and of course a depth charge gunship, a couple T1 gunships flying into the fray, but those will be shot down. The Western team doing what they can to stay in the sea. This light laser tower was so clutch. I don't know how many kills it has. 6 kills on that. It's just placed so well with the kind of natural terrain obstacles, preventing the enemy from really being able to hit it too easily. until they get the destroyers on the field, like some enforcers. Yeah, once you get some enforcers, that'll be more helpful. But it looks like the Western team has just barely held on, and now Lemminkainen with 2 enforcers of his own. He's got 2 urchins, the T1 torpedo launchers, and he of course has a fleet of fighters. So barely the Western team stays in the sea. This will force Walker to retreat and kind of lick his wounds as he slowly limps back home. Alright guys, I'm going to try something that I'm sure I'll regret, but I just realized I have not turned on the sonar command, which means as a viewer you cannot see underwater. But the problem is that when I turn on the sonar command, it often crashes the replay, and I will be quite sad if the replay crashes, because that means I'll have to start over. That would be really, really bad. So, okay, guys, cross your fingers. Please give me your energy. I'm Goku. I'm making the spirit bomb. Put your hands in the air. Please, God, do not let the replay crash. We're getting right to the naval combat. If it crashes now, I'm never going to forgive you. No! Why? Oh, no, dude. And I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Whatever. Whatever. You guys didn't try hard enough. You didn't put your hands in the air enough. Your spirit bomb energy sucks. All right, here we go. Okay, we're back. Everything's okay, my friends. I have fixed it. Your caster's here. We're good. We're back in business. Don't you worry. It has all been resolved. And not only that, not only have I got the juicy naval combat ready for you, but I also got the sonar command working so we can see what is happening under the sea and over the sea as well, as the naval combat continues to rage here in the center of the map. There is a decent amount of Crusaders and Vikings duking it out. Red, of course, assisting with his Pelicans. But I have to say, Lemminkainen's control here wasn't great. He had a decent amount of destroyers, but those destroyers are not great at close range. You really want to keep them at a distance and use their long-range plasma cannons to inflict damage. But hold that thought, because Pink is moving through here. Mr. Stagnation on the next phase of his harassment, knowing that Green is kind of the weakest link here. Green is clearly a new player. I think he's struggling to defend his base, and there's so much action happening on the map. I'm kind of having a difficult time keeping track of all of it, but yeah, right now the naval battle is pretty close, but sort of the issue here is that Walker is in a 1v2 situation. He is trying to take on both red and yellow, and Tasto has told his team that he's going to take these Pelicans and try to go the long way to the sneaky backline attack, get behind Walker's units. That could be a very effective maneuver if he can pull it off. Of course, it is quite a distance to travel, and it depends on whether Walker has radar of this and whether he's paying attention, because I don't see a radar anywhere around here. There is sonar, but none of these ships are radar equipped either. Stagnation, the nice use of Dominators. He's going to destroy this advancing army of Peewees in their tracks, or stop them in their tracks. So yeah, Lemminkainen, he is still on T2. It's a little surprising by now. I would expect him to already be moving to T3. But he is in the sea, and he does have a large group of destroyers. Now, one thing I do want to say, hold that thought, because Tasto has made it to the other side of the northern landmass, and he will attempt to make his way into Walker's space here But what I was going to say is that Walker is on T2 ships, and he has just finished his first shredder. So Walker will have an advantage in the naval combat. Eventually, if he can stay alive long enough, not let these Pelicans do too much damage. Stagma bringing his fighters, and those fighters are inflicting some pretty serious damage. Guys, in Escalation, Pelicans no longer have the anti-air missile. That has been replaced with a torpedo. So these Pelicans will not be able to defend themselves against air. And luckily, with Stags Jr.'s help, that will allow Walker to mostly be okay. A single Pelican does survive, but it shouldn't get too much accomplished. And now the naval battle will continue in earnest as Lemminkainen bringing forward a nice squad of enforcers. But as I mentioned, Walker now on T2, he will slowly gain the upper hand in this skirmish as these T2 units continue to roll off the production line or float off the production line. They should give him the edge that he needs to win these naval battles. The Western team does not have T2 naval yet. I think they're working on it. But yeah, if this shredder can get in range, it could be pretty devastating. Lemminkainen has now made it to T2. I think he just now finished that. But I will say, Lemminkainen probably does not want to be stretching himself as thin as he is this game. He's in the air. He's got T2 K-bots, and he's also going into T2 naval. And this is really causing Lemminkainen to not be able to tech to T3 the way that he likes to in a normal game, which is his style generally. I think it might end up helping the Eastern team that he's kind of having to do everything. He's not the only player in the air. Tasto is as well, but he certainly has the most fighters for the Western team. And now Walker moving through here with the shredders in the mix, and he's also got an executioner that was being produced. Things are beginning to look a little dire for the Western team in the pond, and still stagnation here in pink, putting that pressure on as he has from the beginning of the game with those MAKs. Now he's transitioned into Dominators and Mortys. A fearsome combo indeed, my friends. Not the kind of situation, nothing you would want to be on the receiving end of, and it seems like Green is going to need help if he wants to survive this attack. Yeah, here's that executioner I was referring to. And Lemminkainen has retreated. He is working on his own executioner. So at the moment, Walker may have an advantage, but we'll have to see how long that lasts. Stagma Jr. with a nice combination of upgraded sumos. You can tell they're upgraded because they have 3 cannons. So upgraded sumos, crashers for air defense, and some dominators and Mortys as well mixed in. This is just a great composition by Stagma. This is going to be able to take on almost anything, even Mavericks and Zeus's, as we can clearly see. They're going to get shredded by this composition of the blue player. So I will try to keep an eye on everything that is currently happening, but we have battles on the land, we have battles in the sea, we have battles in the sky, and we have Pink pushing through here, making the green player's life a living hell with this constant harassment. As you can see, the green player, he's not able to rebuild at all. Every time he tries to rebuild, stagnation comes through with yet another push, forcing Green's teammates to come in and assist. So Green definitely having the worst game. He's certainly struggling here to just get a foothold on the map and even survive. But again, there's engagements happening on every front. This executioner, it's going to be a great counter to the Pelicans, of course. But now Lemminkainen with some executioners of his own, and it means the naval battle will have mostly stabilized. It will be pretty close. And Taisto, he's going to have to just stop building ships unless he wants to upgrade to T2 as well. Guys, executioners really rule the sea. They can take out almost an infinite number of T1 ships unless you have like a god tier amount of destroyers or frigates. But yeah, Walker deciding to push through here. However, Lemminkainen is ready for this. He's got executioners of his own, so this attack probably will not work yet. We'll have to see what Walker has up his sleeve right now, just pumping out more executioners. Now, one thing that can beat an executioner is a battleship. The Millennium or the Warlord would be a solid choice against that. And Taisto almost on T3. He could be our first player to T3 in this game. I'm going to have to keep an eye out on what everyone's doing here. Make sure I don't miss anything, but this is a huge map. And people can also try to hide their buildings as well. Make it harder for the enemy and the caster to be apprised of what's going on. But yeah, a single submarine has made it through. Nice play by Walker to send that sub in, and we've seen one submarine in Escalation can get a lot done, especially when there's no sub defense anywhere to be seen. Of course, you could always build the depth charge gunships to try and take care of this, but as of now, this one submarine may wreck through the base of Lemminkainen in the water, already taking out 2 advanced construction subs, which is not a small pickup at all. And of course, Stagma Jr. still moving through with this incredibly impressive composition of Sumos and Mortys. So can he break through though? There's a lot of defense. There's we've got Sentinels covered with Dragon's Teeth. We've got Vipers. We've got Bulwarks and Immolators. And of course, Lemminkainen with his own Sumos as well. So with all of this defense and with the Western team coalescing together to defend their base, even Stagma Jr., who is one of the best Escalation players alive, may have difficult time breaking through this defense. This is an impressive line, and still this one snake being extremely annoying. It only has 4 kills, but it has forced Taisto to bring his units north. But Walker is in a full retreat. It does look like Lemminkainen may have the superior force here, because he does have some executioners backed up with enforcers. And man, there are fights happening all over the place. We have Walker with some enforcers. This is probably why Walker's army looks a little smaller, because he split off part of his force and sent it to the northwest of the map, and now he's dealing some economic damage to Lemminkainen and Taisto. But Lemminkainen is going to try to get revenge for this. He's going to try to punish Walker for breaking up his force for that little raiding party. But Walker does have more executioners coming in, hot off the assembly line. This may be enough to hold this off. Walker is playing this really well, splitting his forces in such a way that he can deal serious economic damage to the enemy team, but also managing to hold his side of the sea, keeping enough for defense. And remember, Walker is in kind of a 2v1 situation. But Stagma is, he's now pushing through on the land. Somehow Stagma's army was big enough to break through all that defense that I mentioned earlier. Again, Stagma, one of the best players in the business. He just, I don't know how he does this, but this composition is absolutely amazing. The Sumos, the tanky front line, and then the Mortys. Great for any kind of stationary target at a huge range. Man, all that defense just counted for nothing. All those heavy laser towers and Dragon's Teeth and all of that just completely gone, and there's so much going on. It's difficult to cast all of it. Again, the battle in the sea continuing to rage as we witness Stagma moving through here with what seems to me what could be a game-ending maneuver. This many T2 units getting into your base, this many Sumos and Mortys, is never, ever, ever something you want to be on the receiving end of. As we have some torpedo bombers flying over, but the torpedo bombers aren't going to help too much in this particular engagement. Taisto clearly built those to deal with Walker, but now Walker is not the real threat. The real threat is Stagma, as he slowly walks into Taisto's base. He doesn't have much air defense, so these brawlers should eventually be able to clean this up, but how much damage can Stagma get done before this army is finally put out of its misery? These Sumos, MVPs, 10 kills on that one, 8 on that one, 31 kills on that bad boy, and all the Mortys have kills too, so the brawlers are the only thing keeping the Western team in the game right now. Stagma did have some crashers, but it wasn't enough. And yeah, now the pillagers coming in, and those are going to take out Lemminkainen's naval production. So on the back of Stagma's beautiful sumo push, the Eastern team punishing Lemminkainen in the sea, taking out his naval production, giving Walker the opening that he needs to fully commit to this naval engagement and perhaps take complete control of the pawn. Now that would be an impressive maneuver if Walker could take this whole north area. Now Stagma has made the observation that Taisto is T3. That's true. Taisto is T3. He's the first player to get there. I think by quite a margin. Usually at this point of the game you have several people going to T3. Usually several people will reach it at relatively the same amount of time. But it seems like Taisto got there a lot quicker than anyone else in the game. There may be someone else that has done it. Dark Green's still working on it, but I think Taisto, he has won by a mile. And now the Western team doing everything they can just to cling to dear life as Walker putting on the pressure. A single trident shooting its long-range plasma shells, attempting to get Walker out of this area. There are some Cyclones and Zephyrs, and those might be enough to push Walker off, but oh no, here's the second wave of Stagma Jr.'s attack. More Mortys, more Crashers, more devastation. And Stagma, once he sees that his opponent is on T3, he will also be on T3 very quickly as well. So yeah, Stagma, he is also on T3. We have several people in the game on T3 right now. We've entered that phase, but I definitely have to say, at this point, the Eastern team is certainly ahead. There's no question about it. They've taken control of most of the sea. Lemminkainen has been kicked out completely. All Taisto has is just a regular run-of-the-mill T1 shipyard. And the only thing really keeping them in the sea is their air control. They have a lot of torpedo bombers and depth-charge gunships. But Walker's composition is wonderful here. Oh man, look at that air defense. Look at the Cobras shooting everything out of the sky. Disgusting, Walker. Disgusting. I'd love to see Walker seal the deal with just a single warlord. Single battleship might be enough to just close the casket on the Western team, but So yeah, the sea situation looking dire and the land situation looking even more dire as Stagma's beautiful push breaking through all those defenses have been sent to the abyss, and they'll never be coming back. And on the back of that, Walker pushing through with some pillagers. So yeah, the Western team on the back foot in pretty much every way they can be, except air. I will say this: the Western team has better air control, I think. They've got 2 players doing it. They've got both Tasto and Lemminkainen in the sky. So that's the only way that I feel that they're doing a little bit better is the air control. But at this point, it doesn't really count for that much because Walker has enough shredders to make probably enough shredders here to make Ninja Turtles in every universe, kind of like a multiverse of Ninja Turtle shows with all these shredders. That's just so many. And those will absolutely decimate anything that flies into their airspace. Those are going to get sent straight to Davy Jones' locker. Do not pass go and do not collect any money. You are gone. So man, Walker has really been putting a clinic on this. He's been 2v1 in the sea and still doing it. His composition has just been so great, and he's even added some phantoms here. Guys, this is like the next level play. Adding phantoms into your composition, the phantom is the radar jammer. It has no combat value at all, but the value that it has hiding your fleet from your enemy is incalculable. It can't be measured. I mean, just adding phantoms into the mix, preventing the enemy team from even knowing where Walker's army is. Oh, Walker, you monster. This is just such beautiful naval play. It is such a treat to watch. Walker, I have to give credit to this guy, man. Walker is, he just keeps getting better and better. He just keeps playing, man. The guy just keeps playing. He grinds out the games, and every game he just gets a little better. And, man, he is playing so well today. This is incredible. Owning the sea, absolutely dominating the sea, guys. This is how you do it. He basically 2v1'd the enemy team and has taken full control now. I can definitively say the naval battle is over. It is done. Walker has claimed victory, and look at all this metal. All this metal is now Walker's. He can take all of that for himself. He can reclaim all of the corpses, which are worth some tens of thousands of metal, who knows. What impressive play by Walker. He didn't do it quickly, he just did it slowly and methodically. And now, with the sea taken over, it seems like impossible for the Western team to win. I mean, anything could happen, of course, but having control of the sea is so important because there's so much metal in the water. There's so many resources to be had. And if the Western team was winning on the land, it might be a little different, but no, they're also losing the land battle as well, so things are looking dire for our underdogs here. But it isn't over. Let's not doomsday prophesize yet. The game will continue. Things will go on. I'm going to take a look at what's going on down here. See if I missed anything. See if there's any kind of game-ending nuke or Big Bertha or something impressive that could change the fortunes of these incredibly unfortunate souls. Now, a Nova did just get completed, and the Nova is kind of like the walking Bertha for ARM. The T3 walking Bertha, or the crawling Bertha. However you wanted to describe it, it is certainly a force to be reckoned with, especially if you get enough Novas. Then they can really begin to compound the effect of basically shelling their enemies back into the Stone Age. So you definitely do not want to be in that situation. But no, right now, neither team has anything too noteworthy. Mostly just eco in the bases and, of course, T3 production. But I don't see any nukes. I don't see anything that could dramatically change the game, at least in one fell swoop. We do want to keep an eye on the Nova, though. That Nova could be game-changing, especially if it gets veterancy. So, guys, the way that units work in Escalation is there's a mechanic called veterancy. Once a unit gets a certain amount of kills, it will increase their accuracy and damage. That's incredible. That's especially important for the long-range plasma cannon units because they often start out pretty inaccurate, but once they get a certain amount of kills, they become so much more accurate and so much more deadly, and they even do more damage. And so the Nova is going to need to get at least 25 kills to be at full effectiveness. If he can target these clumps of units, that could be a really nice way of getting the Nova fully online. But Tasto's going to have to pay attention. Now, one thing I don't like is that Walker has not cleared out this northern part. We have Lemminkainen has tons of underwater Moho extractors here that are giving him free metal. And Walker really needs to go do something about this. You can't let Lemminkainen get free resources. Lemminkainen is too good of a player to just give him basically 50 free metal or however much he's getting. So Walker definitely needs to finish the job here and just kill all this. He is sending things now, but he needs units that can target the underwater extractors. These executioners cannot do it. They have no underwater capability. So he will send the shredders. Those have the depth charges. Should be plenty. But again, the Eastern team is now encroaching onto the Western team's base, and things are looking pretty bad. How many kills does the Nova have? 7 kills already. So as the game progresses, it will slowly level up, and as it levels up, it will become deadlier and deadlier, and that might allow them to survive as Walker finally moving through with his fleet, allowing him to crush Lemminkainen's economy and give himself the advantage. And I'd like to see Walker fully take advantage of the sea here and take all of these metal spots and reclaim all this juicy corpses that are up for grabs. And then I'd like to see him build some Rangers as well, get some ships to shell this off the coast. Really take advantage of the fact that they now have full control of the sea. Even bring some hovercrafts. That could be good if they get some T2 hovercrafts. They could move them. There's not much defense at this approach. There are some Dragon's Teeth, but those could be dealt with pretty easily. So yeah, right now the game is still pretty close. But the Eastern team is definitely ahead. They've got full control of the sea. We've got Stagma Jr. pushing through yet again. He's got a huge amount of sumos, and he's got some Talos as well, and he's also got Mortys. And is there enough defense to stop all this? I don't know. I mean, it's the Western team has to stop this. They definitely have to prevent Stagma from doing what he did before. The Orion, protected with fortification walls, is certainly helping, but that will die pretty quickly now. And now this push is going through and Could Stagma just end the game here? It seems like the Western team may have just enough, and I mean just enough, to prevent Stagma from ending the game. I mean, it didn't seem like they had much, but there are 3 ambushers here and a big Bertha. Oh no, excuse me, 5 ambushers and a Guardian. So that's where most of the damage is coming from, I think. I didn't notice these. That's why they're called ambushers. It can be a little hard to spot sometimes, but these ambushers and this Guardian, definitely the MVP and the Doomsday Machine as well. It will be just enough to push Stagma out of their territory. Excuse me, a second Doomsday Machine. So yeah, there is a decent amount of defense here, more than I originally thought, because I was just looking here, but most of the defense was off the screen. Most of the defense is actually back here with the big Bertha as well, just now being finished. So with that, even Stagma is going to struggle to push through here. The Western team with just enough to hold this off, and an Aegis as well. So nice job by them. They are at least turtling up there, at least staying alive for the moment, but I do want to keep an eye on the player bases. Make sure that we don't miss anything consequential. Right now I don't see anything, except for this Bertha. This Bertha could end up being pretty valuable if it can hit some priority targets. For example, this advanced K-Bot lab. I'm not sure what it's shooting at now. It hit the Viper, but yeah, the Bertha could definitely target some important economic structures, like this mantle extractor. Looks like that's what it's shooting at, and it might get it. Oh, it just barely missed. But yeah, I do like the dark green is actually using his Bertha effectively. A lot of times people will build these long-range plasma cannons and then they'll just kind of sit there and not shoot at anything. So if you're going to build these, they're a huge investment. You definitely want to make sure that they hit their targets of opportunity. Make sure that they pay for themselves. Finally, Walker adding Warlords into the mix. Try to shell the shoreline. But now the Novas are beginning to stack up. 18 kills on this Nova. 32 kills on that one, so the left Nova is already at full veterancy, and those will be one of the biggest bulwarks to Walker's aggression here in the north. Walker putting on the pressure, but will it be enough pressure with those Novas attempting to defend? Stagma realizing that he cannot break through with what he has. He's going to need something a little stronger, maybe some Krogoths. Even Juggernauts would be ideal in this situation. He has built a Juggernaut, so one Juggernaut has rolled off the, or walked off the assembly line, and that might be enough to at least inflict some damage. I don't think one will be enough to break through, though. He'll need multiple Juggernauts if he wants to break through. This Warlord, I think, just in range of the Doomsday Machine, but the Doomsday Machine is much more accurate. It's going to be hitting that. Oh, and now some Typhoons in the fray. Even with all this air defense, the T3 torpedo bombers may be enough here. Targeting the shredders. Nice job by Lemminkainen. He has taken out the entire naval force of Walker. Holy cow, what an impressive feat. All it took was 3 T3 torpedo bombers. Now they're all one hit, but he had just enough to kill all of Walker's invading force there, all of the force that was on the beach. So nice job by Lemminkainen, knowing exactly what he needed to kill that force, and not a single penny wasted. But yeah, let's keep an eye on what's going on here. Oh, here's the first nuke of the game. So Purple is going to try some nuke shenanigans. He may be the first player to attempt this this epic feat. We have now entered into the nuclear age of this battle. These Novas, again, definitely going to be worth their weight. And some extremely valuable currency. A Raptor is now entering onto the field as well, slowly. And yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that nuke, because that could be a game-changing proposition if it gets finished. I don't see any anti-nukes. They are working on some now. The Western team has to be prepared for this eventuality. Certainly they know that nukes could be a problem at this phase of the game. There's also an Intimidator here that Pink has built. It's only got 4 kills, so it looks relatively new. But I think the issue is, once again, the Eastern team is struggling to break through. They definitely have the advantage in terms of map position. But having said that, Lemminkainen is entering back into the sea, using his T3 aerial dominance. Like I said, that was the only way the Western team was ahead, was they had better air control. And Lemminkainen using his aerial dominance to allow him an opportunity to rebuild his advanced shipyard very quickly and enter back into the pond. That could be a game-changing event. We'll have to see. There's a lot going on right now here in the center of the map, as some Rapiers do make it to the front, pushing back Zuki and his Cerberus. Of course, we've got Stagma moving through. He's got this Juggernaut now. There's a lot happening, but overall, nice use of air, because there's almost no anti-air in this composition. So these Rapiers will be able to take out Dark Green's army with impunity. There's just no air defense, not a single flak or anything, not even a Samson to push this away. Lemminkainen with his patented T3 flame gunships, but the Eastern team is much better defended in that regard. They've got some Crashers and they've got some Partisans in the mix, so they will be able to push that back. But once again, all eyes on the sea, as Lemminkainen attempting to reclaim his former glory, even bringing a Necro. Guys, we almost never see these. This is a T3 Res K-Bot. I think it... No, I guess it's T2 now, but this is a Resurrector K-Bot that you almost never see in Escalation. But Lemminkainen now using this, and Walker is... I think Walker has caught on to this sneaky attempt of Lemminkainen to make it back into the sea. Now, Lemminkainen has sent some construction ships north, but he's able to push this off with his T3 air. I can't believe he's been able to enter back into the sea. That shouldn't be allowed. It's crazy. His Lemminkainen's use of T3 air has just been quite devastating. But hold that thought, because Stagma bringing some Hawks into the fray, or some Vamps, and now Lemminkainen, I don't think he has much left here. Of course, we do still have the Novas. These mobile long-range plasma cannons. Oh my god, look, every shot they're taking out huge numbers of ships. Tasto was a genius to build those. Those have been so game-changing. And once again, Lemminkainen with a single advanced shipyard. Can it be enough? Dark Green sending a huge fleet of scouts to the enemy team, seeing what they have going on here. But there's so much air defense that I don't think that these scouts are going to get through. Oh, they might have seen the nuke, though. Doesn't seem like they did. The Western team did not comment on the nuke, which you would think they did if they saw it. But the Raptor has been completed, so the Western team is now on that T3.5 tech with that Raptor in the fray. And these Novas in the back. Could they look for a counterattack? We'll have to see whether they have enough. Of course, 2 Juggernauts, nothing to scoff at. Those will be very difficult to stop, even for a Raptor. But I bet these Novas now, 84 kills on this one. 84 big ones, and this one's got 112. These 2 Novas are monsters. They are absolutely dominating the game, dealing so much damage with every shot. Of course, the Berthas and Intimidators, they are piling up damage as well. As you can see, these shells are slowly moving in with this kind of trench warfare strategy the Western team is waging. They have entrenched themselves into this position, and they are now dealing massive damage from a huge range, and with almost no recourse for the Eastern team at all. Stagma's army getting decimated before they even get close to the front line, and the single Raptor may not be able to achieve too much, but we'll see. The battle for the sea is still raging. Lemminkainen has lost his advanced shipyard yet again. So Walker's still in control of the sea, but I'd have to say his control of the sea is pretty tenuous. He is now on T3, and maybe with some T3 battleships, he can do a little more. But right now, the Western team has kept him at bay somehow. They have kept him from really being able to use this advantage as much as he would have liked to. Man, look at all the aircraft here. Holy cow, man. Look at how many T3 torpedo bombers Lemminkainen has. I mean, this is a dedicated, this is like a World War II aerial campaign here. That is a massive fleet of T3 bombers with some Skynets for air defense as well. So Lemminkainen taking his responsibility very seriously to take the sea back. He is he's not slouching at all. He is definitely focusing on this. And look at all the shredders. God, that's so much air defense, but is it even enough? Look at all these Typhoons. Oh, Stagma coming in with the Vamps. Where are those Skynets? They're too far back. Those need to be further north. They will finally make it to the front line. Kill all those Hawks in a brilliant display of aerial explosions and flak. But man, this is so close. Those Typhoons are getting really low, and Walker kiting them back to try to keep them alive. But of course, there is 2 Eviscerators now as well, so the Eastern team doing what they can to keep the sky clear over their base. And guys, there are some anti-nukes now on the field, which are going to make it pretty difficult for those nukes to do much unless they get killed. So again, there is this one nuke wherever it was. Marked it earlier. There it is. But it might have trouble doing much. Is the Western team so entrenched, but still unable to break out of this containment, despite the amazing job that Lemminkainen has done. Walker barely holding on here. And I'll try not to miss anything, guys. There's At this point of the game, anything could happen. We have 2 Intimidators shelling the eastern shoreline, I'm sure. As you can see, these Intimidators have been doing work. Stagnation, using them. They've taken out all these metal spots. So, poor Green's economy has been wrecked. And at this point, I think Green is kind of acting as the bulwark for his team, not doing really much else. Oh no, and now the Intimidators are hitting the fusions, and if he kills one of these fusions, I think they're all going to go up in a blaze of glory here. Stagnation sending some scouts trying to get eyes on this, but oh no, dude, this is such a bad situation for him. Guys, there's things happening on other parts of the map, but I want to watch this because if this fusion goes up, it's going to be devastating. Oh no, dude. There goes Purple's base. Mr. Viper, he's lost all of his fusions. He still has the heavy fusion, but that could be targeted next, and most of his energy economy is going to be gone now. He's working on a second nuke, but he's not going to have the energy anymore to support it. So great play there. And once again, Walker taking control of the sea, not allowing Lemminkainen to get back into the water. He does not want to allow the Western team any foothold. They've got to try to close out the game while they can, if they can. Raptors moving through now on the eastern side. But there's so much defense still. So much. We've got Berthas. We've got Ambushers. We've got Doomsday Machines. We've got Annihilators. We've got Novas. We've got, I mean, everything. Everything and the kitchen sink thrown in there for good measure. It's just going to be so difficult to break this. The Eastern team might even have to build T4. That would be an impressive feat. T4 in this game. It may get there, guys, just because the reality is that the Western team is so entrenched. It would take a veritable army of Krogoths to even make a dent, but the single Raptor being pushed back by all the brawlers. One thing I do want to say is that Green working on Intimidator, excuse me, turning this Intimidator into a Buzzsaw, and that Buzzsaw could be pretty nice, but I don't know how far it will reach. Walker still in full control of the sea, and the Western team still struggling for dear life, doing what they can. But I love what Stag Nation is doing here with these Intimidators. It's just been so effective, and once again, the Western team shelling any invading force that tries to build in the center of the map there, or the north of the map. Preventing them from ever reaching a critical mass that could possibly break through. All these Bertha shells flying in, the Novas as well. Just war of attrition. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, of course. These are less of paper cuts and more of a punch to the gut. Every one of those shells, so devastating. But once again, Walker not really able to get any lease on this territory at all. He just, every time he gets close, he's pushed away by a combination of T3 air and now some toasters and ambushers. So Walker, he's doing what he can, but they're not making his life easy whatsoever. And he's going to need probably some T3 ships. He's just finished a monitor, but now working on a Rancor. And maybe with a Rancor, he could try to do a little more. But again, all of this devastating long-range plasma fire, obliterating Blue's army, softening up all the heavy targets, preventing them from moving in. It is just trench warfare of the First Order here in this game, and it doesn't seem like the Eastern team is going to be able to break through anytime soon. The Western team is oh wow, look at all of these. Look at all these intimidators. So Stagma, he's begun to officiate some of his own long-range plasma cannon gameplay here. Oh my god, you love to see it. This is just beautiful, man. Look at all of this. Look at all these shells flying in. I'm not sure what he's shooting at. He does seem to be targeting this hangar, but he seems to be shooting past the hangar. So Stagman needs to pick his targets here. Okay, he does seem to be targeting it now. Okay, he's got the ultra aircraft hangar targeted now. They're definitely hitting it, and there is nothing in the world that is going to keep that alive for any amount of time. That thing is, it is. I think we can safely say that ultra aircraft hangar is going to be sent to the abyss. However, this Aegis is doing a decent job, but even the Nova getting shelled into oblivion as this constant rain of fire. I don't know how the ultra aircraft hangar is still alive, but it's not going to be for long. That Nova has gone. That Nova that had over 100 kills just been tossed to the wayside. It's just so much fire here. Oh, I think that's how he's keeping it alive. He's got like 1 million construction aircraft repairing it, but how long can they do it? It can't be that long, man. This is it's a terrible situation to be on the receive. There it goes. Finally, definitely stayed alive a lot longer than what I thought, but in the end, it doesn't matter because this withering fire of 8 to 10 intimidators shooting endless shells halfway across the map, creating a horrible situation. 2 arbitrators on the map, but man, I love what Stagma is doing here. This is it's a great strategy. Now he's targeting the Aegis, which is the shield. Once the shield goes down, everything else will be much more vulnerable. And Zuki needs to watch his commander, because this commander, if he gets hit by one too many shots, he will also be sent to the afterlife. And that might not be too good for the Western team to lose this player. But yeah, once again, Walker continuing to put his pressure on from the sea. Man, you've got to love this. And look at all of this carnage. Now targeting the Retaliator. Now targeting the anti-nukes. Probably next going to be targeting the factories. The mantle extractors. And this Rancor, I think, just finished for Walker. So once that gets to the front line, it should be able to deal some damage. However, Purple is now on 2 nukes, but I don't think 2 nukes is going to be quite enough. And the Western team deciding that maybe they need to push. They can't just be a victim to Stagma's endless array of artillery brilliance. They've got to actually push out. They can't just die this slow death, which they will die if they let Stagma have his way. But he's got some Krogoths as well, and a Juggernaut. There's a lot here, and Lemminkainen also bringing in the Decimator, the Flying Saucer. There's a Raptor as well, so could they have enough to break through? The Decimator will go down, but there is still a Raptor. 2 Raptors here in the north. And could they actually make it to these Intimidators? That's what they've got to do. They can't let these Intimidators live. There's just no way on Earth that this can be allowed. But I don't know. I think the Eastern team has too much here. This one Raptor has gotten a lot done, but can it survive long enough to break the artillery stranglehold. I don't think so. It's getting pretty low now. Stagma's sending some more scouts to the west to see what is going on, see what other targets of opportunity he can find. This ultra aircraft hangar, certainly something he wants to focus his attention on if he can. But can the Western team break through? There's still a Krogoth with half health, even with all these Zeuses. I don't think it's going to be enough. There's also some Sumos to contend with here, and a Raptor. But man, they almost have enough. It is balanced on a razor's edge here. The Western team so close to breaking through. If they could just get to this position and take out Tasto's Intimidators, they could give themselves a chance to hang on in this game. But I think the Eastern team has brought just enough. However, we do have some Arbitrators in the back. But now the Rancor finally has made it to the shoreline, and that may be enough to inflict serious destruction on the Western team's base. It's quite frankly a sight to behold here. This game entering into the ultra carnage of long-range plasma cannon gameplay. This Rancor is basically a floating long-range plasma cannon, and it will outrange most of these targets. And as you can see, Stagma's endless barrage of shells, more than enough to slowly take out the Eastern team's defenses and a lot of their base as well. So once again, the Western team looking for an answer, looking for some method to stay in this game if they can. Any possibility to hold on here. Any opportunity that they can to push back, but they've tried, they've attempted to attack. But oh, hold that thought, because our dark green player is on T4. A Centaur has been made. A Centaur has been created, my friends. The T4 Fido. The ARM T4 Fido. And can that be enough? Can the Centaur break through and kill out these Berthas? Oh, that would be so game-changing. This Centaur MVP, boys. It's happening. This one Centaur. The T4 Dream. The God Gamer. Oh, he's got to move it, though. He can't just let it stand there. What's going on here? Move that Centaur. Okay, he's moving now. Oh, it's so close. This thing is losing health rapidly, but it doesn't have to survive for long. Oh, God, it's taking out the Berthas. It's only got about a fourth health left, but there's so much damage being absorbed by this monster, but it does take out a good number of those Intimidators, probably more than half there. So a nice job by Dark Green. He at least stops the bleeding, but oh my God. This Rancor is a walking battleship. Do you guys see this? It just sprouted legs and walked onto the land when we weren't looking. I think Walker's probably hacking. I don't think that can actually just sprout legs like that. I think Walker turned on the cheat codes and gave that massive T3 battleship the ability to walk on land. But very nice play by Walker, because now with this Rancor, let's see how many kills it has. 43 kills on that bad boy. And then the Monitor doesn't have any yet. But the walls are closing in on the Western team. That's all there is to it. Things are looking even more dire. The only thing they have going for them is that they took out most of Stagma's Intimidators have been destroyed. But they're working on another Centaur here. They're working on more T4. And T4 might be the only thing that can save them, because they're certainly in a very tough situation with this Rancor and this Monitor moving in to try to finish the game. Tastos northern base is in absolute tatters. There's not much that can be done, I think. However, there's lots of nukes being built, guys. We'll have to keep an eye on this. There's nukes here. The top left, there's nukes here. And then there's nukes on the eastern side of the map as well. Of course, in Purple's base. So we'll try to keep an eye on all the nuke action. Make sure that we don't miss any epic... what am I trying to think of here? Any breaches of the Geneva Convention? We certainly have to catch on camera. We wouldn't be doing our job correctly. But speaking of catching something on camera, Viper building an Armageddon. Now this is something you do not see every day. The Armageddon, the ARM T3 Bertha, the super long-range plasma cannon. And if that thing could get finished, I think we could all probably die happy, knowing that our dreams and wishes had been fulfilled. This Monitor now getting dangerously close to Lemminkainen's fusion farm here, but it looks like Walker has stopped paying attention to it. He wants to keep microing that if he can. Green moving in with a nice aerial force, and as you can see, this defense slowly being taken out. Oh no, these fusions now being targeted by the Rancor, and I think if one of those goes up, they will all go up. Keep an eye on it. Does the Western team know about these? Are they paying attention? They have to defend this. It could be a terrifying situation for Lemminkainen if he loses that energy, but yeah, it seems like they're crumbling on all fronts here. Stagma shelling the Western team into absolute oblivion. Things are looking pretty desperate. I don't know how they get back from this point. These fusions all at about half health here. One stray Bertha shell could take those off, take those out. And I really love what Walker has done this game. He's really taken control of the sea and held control of the sea despite Tasto's best efforts. And yeah, it's a tough situation for everyone involved here. On the Western side, this Rancor is pretty low. Let's see how many kills. 68 kills on it, but it's only got yeah, it's only got seconds to live, as that will go up in flames pretty quickly. The T4 Fido has been completed. Of course, we saw what the first one could do. Let's see if the second Fido can get anything else accomplished. Get anything more accomplished, I mean. But yeah, guys, we don't know exactly how long the game has gone, because when I restarted the replay, it screwed up the game timer, so it's hard to say where exactly. It says an hour and 6, but I think it's probably closer to an hour and 30. Maybe an hour and 40 into the game. Maybe somewhere around there. Can never say for sure, but what a game this has been. What a late game slugfest. What a brawl this has been. This has just been a treat, and the Western team has no right to still be here. They have no right to still be in this game. They should have crumbled a long time ago, but now building an Avalon T4 treaded battleship. Blue has a Krogoth. Stagma has a Krogoth that he must have, I think, probably either brought through the north or taken through the water. The Krogoths are amphibious, so they can walk through water if necessary. But either way, Stagma has gotten a Krogoth to the the north of Lemminkainen's base, and now this fusion factory is almost certainly going to pay the iron price. The Western team just no longer has what they need to defend it. The single Krogoth could be enough to end the game as those fusions go up one after another in a chain reaction, and now there are a lot of nukes being built by the Western team. Could all these nukes be the saving grace? That's the only way I can think that they could win. If they have so many nukes, they have to just nuke the Eastern team into oblivion. They just have to nuke them out of the game. If they could take out a commander, if they could chain all the nukes onto a single commander. Remember, guys, in Total Annihilation, it's not like Bar, and it's not like FAF. If a commander dies, all of that player's units also die. The units are not gifted to a teammate. They don't stay in the game. If the commander dies, it is like the king in chess. Everything goes. So all they've got to do is get a nice, lucky nuke. Oh, here's another Centaur push like the one before. Except this Centaur is much healthier, and it's made it much further. And it doesn't seem like the Eastern team was ready for this. They've been focusing their attention elsewhere, and this Centaur is now inflicting serious damage on their base. 63 kills already. It's at about half health, but it's taken out all of Stag's Berthas, and now focusing on this Ultra K-Bot Gantry, focusing on these Doomsday machines as well. It's so powerful. These teal lasers of doom. Oh my god, look at how much damage it's doing. I can't believe this is happening. How is Dark Green able to sneak that Centaur into the base here? And where the heck did it go? Oh, it got D-gunned. I think blue D-gunned the Centaur. But wow, that thing got way more damage than it should have. Dark Green really catching the Eastern team with its pants down. Or with their pants down. But two Raptors now moving in from Viper. And it looks like Dark Green is going to have to try to D-gun these. Can he do it in time? They're focusing him. He might be the first commander to die. Oh no, was that? I guess that wasn't a real commander. Then maybe that was a decoy. Must have been a decoy commander. But another Centaur pushing back the Krogoth of Stagma. How many kills does it have? 43 kills before it will finally and unceremoniously explode right before killing Tasto's Ultra Aircraft Hangar. But that nice attack with that Centaur may be enough to keep the Western team in the game. It's hard to say. There's now another Rancor on the field. And the Western team bending but not breaking. They are still billowing in the wind. Walker now saying, I've got to go. This game is too long. I think Walker might tap out. He's been emotionally abused by the length and difficulty of the tenacity of the Western team. They refuse to give up. Some Rocky Balboa characters over here really putting up a fight. They should have been dead hours ago, but they just refuse to die. So tenacious, this team. And not a single one of them has been ejected. All four of them still in the game. All 8 players at like an hour and 40 minutes still in this game somehow. I have no idea how nobody has died. It doesn't seem possible. I think that's an anti-nuke. Yeah. So the Nexus, the T3 aircraft carrier, can build anti-nukes. And it seemed like the Western team was trying to nuke the naval force here in the top, but Walker was ready for that. And so far the nukes haven't really played much of a role this game at all. But another Centaur now pushing through, and we saw how much damage the last Centaur did. The only reason it was even able to be killed was because of a D-gun. But there is a Krogoth. How much can dark green get done? There's like a elephant graveyard of Krogoth corpses here, preventing the centaur from even being able to get through this area too easily. We have truly reached the late game stage here. Just endless carnage on both sides. Tons of nukes being built, but so far none of them have landed. There's just too many anti-nukes in the game right now, but if those anti-nukes start getting taken out on either side, we could see some fireworks. That is certainly the case. But yeah, so this the centaur is in serious trouble here. That is 5 doomsday machines, all being buffed with a monolith. So yeah, I don't think the centaur is going to get very far. Stagmo is ready this time. He had all the answers, and with the harpies as well, I think this thing is not long for this world. So once again, the Western team doing everything they can, but I'm just amazed they're still in the game. If you want to know my honest opinion, I don't know how they're hanging on here. And you just expect them to be dead, but they won't die. They simply refuse to die. And whatever happens, you've got to give points to this team. Tasto, Lemminkainen, Stagnation, and Zuki, all so tenacious. Incredible players, just hanging on to the bitter end here, not letting the Eastern team send them packing without a fight. They are true warriors here, and if they could come back somehow, I mean, it doesn't seem very likely, but if the Western team could somehow... Oh, here comes another nuke. Hold that thought, because a nuke is flying. But no, I think that will be intercepted by an anti-nuke as well. A Raptor attempting to hold off this attack of Walker with these Berserker hovercrafts, so that's probably not going to get too much accomplished. Yeah, if the Western team could somehow come back here and pull the victory, pull the W, I think that would be like one of the most amazing comebacks of all time in TA. Like, there's no question about it. They've been on the edge of death for like an hour, and somehow hanging on. All their defenses are basically gone. I'm not even sure what's keeping them alive at this point, because there's just no defense at all. There's yeah, there's just almost nothing here. I guess they have a couple Novas, but no, I think they're just surviving through sheer willpower alone. They are willing themselves to stay in this game. And the Eastern team not able to break through. They do have another Centaur. Dark Green's been pumping those out like they're going out of style. And those Centaurs are certainly one of the only things keeping them in the game. But Dark Green does have 4 nukes. And then Red has 1 as well. So could all these nukes ultimately change the fate of the game, or change the course of the game? I mean, they could overwhelm the anti-nuke defense, or alternatively they could target the anti-nuke defense, but they would have to have something. Let's see, where are the anti-nukes on this side? Let's try to keep an eye out for there's one here. There's one here. So there's 3 so far that I've seen, but there might be more. They're kind of hard to spot amidst all the chaos. But I don't see any now. So far I only see 3. Was that another one I saw? Yeah, so Walker has tapped out. I think he's just gotten tired of playing. Understandably, the game's been going on for almost 2 hours now. And the Western team just basically outlasting Walker, refusing to die. But again, if they could get some nukes through and take out one of these commanders, who knows? It could be a huge comeback. Blue inheriting, Stagma inheriting all of Walker's crap. But yeah, this game just kind of refuses to end. We're gonna speed it up a little bit here because there's not too much to talk about right now. I'm gonna keep an eye on the nukes and make sure we don't miss anything too crucial in that regard. But yeah, right now we've kind of hit a stalemate, though it's less of a stalemate and it's more of the oh, hang on, hold that thought. A couple nukes flying out here into the middle. One nuke is going to I think impact Stagma's army there and take out almost all of that. And then another nuke flying out here. Let's see what it wants to hit. It was going for the same target, taking out almost nothing. But yeah, overall, they will kill most of Stagma's army, and even Stagma probably getting a little bit exhausted here after 2 hours of constant stress, 2 hours of endless warfare, total annihilation style. The battle that doesn't end, that is what the game is named after. This this particular match has lived up to the hype. It's been unbelievably back and forth. Both teams playing so well. Walker eventually taps out. And again, the Eastern team has been on the edge of victory for about an hour or more, but just unable to close it out. Just unable, even with full control of the sea, they just haven't been able to really gather the strength they need. But Stagma is almost done with a Titan, and a Titan is certainly a game-ending kind of unit. But I think green will also tap out as well. Bright green. He's going to give all of his stuff to Stagma before he leaves. So Stagma, it's now Stagma kind of versus the world. Purple's still in the game, but he's not much of a factor. Stagma's basically 1v4 now. So I think the Western team, their strategy was almost to just kind of wait out the Eastern team's endurance and just try to win a war of psychological attrition, and that they have done. Because now it is Stag versus the universe. Stag not even able to spend his resources at all. He's got 4 players' resources. Oh my god, dude, there's so much happening. There's nukes flying everywhere. There's things exploding. The screen is shaking. The world is ending. This Titan can't get out of the base because there's no path large enough. There's no space large enough for it to walk through here, so it just keeps walking in circles. Finally, it finds a spot that it can fit through, and now dark green pushing through with centaurs. This Titan's got to be enough. Oh my god, yeah, there goes green, I think. Does Stagma, can he 1v4 these guys now that his teammates basically abandoned him? Does he have the mental capacity and the skill? Oh my god, this Titan absolutely devastating the army here of dark green, killing these centaurs, but It's only got about a third of its health left, and there's still a Raptor, and there's several upgraded penetrators. This Titan might actually go down, even with all the Doomsday machines. But the Titan, it does prove to be victorious. Only 14 kills, but every one of those kills so consequential. Like, every one of those kills is basically an experimental. So, man, I just feel so sorry for Stagma, because now that he's 1v4, the situation is so much harder than if he still had 3 teammates. Purple is still technically in the game, but it doesn't seem like he's really doing much anymore. It is a one-man show on the Eastern team, and he has to repair this Titan for sure. Like, if he has any chance of winning with these Novas. These Novas shelling from the side, and now a Stratus has entered the fray, but there's so much air defense, I don't think that's going to survive very long. No, that's going to die pretty much immediately. And Stagma doing what I said, he's got to repair this thing. But now they're getting shelled by all the Novas and these Intimidators that Stagnation has made, continuing to be a nuisance. But if this Titan can get repaired, and if Stagma can get a few Demolishers to back it up and maybe some Krogoths, he could try to do a game-ending push, but it will be a push with him versus 4 players. But they really don't have that much. Like, they haven't really had many defenses for a while now. They do have the Centaur. But in terms of static defenses, I don't see a single Doomsday Machine. I don't see a single Guardian or Toaster or anything. So this Titan has been fully repaired. If Stagma could get the right composition, he may still be able to pull it out. I mean, that would just be so epic for him to 1v4 these guys. But the, I don't know. The withering fire from Pink. This late game devastation. Masters of Carnage. The long-range plasma cannons. We don't see them enough, my friends. We do not see the long-range plasma cannons enough. But this game, they have played an absolutely crucial role in, on both sides. And now, with Stag Jr. on the receiving end of this, it feels like he's got to push. He's got to push with this Titan, but he's got to get the Demolishers, I think, to back him up. I don't think this one Titan can do it. There's going to be air. There's not much air defense here. However, these Eviscerators are in the area. But once he walks out of range of those, he won't have much air defense. He's got to have some air defense if he wants any chance of this push being successful. There are some penetrators, and of course we do know that there was a Centaur there somewhere. Here it is. But can this Titan do it? It definitely can't do it unsupported. He's got to have support. He's got to have Demolishers. He's got to have anti-air. He's got to have some other units backing it up. But it's so hard because every time he begins to gather an army, the army just gets shelled to death with all these long-range plasma cannons and nukes. Oh man, those nukes! Oh no! Oh no! And this is what Stag was telling me about. That nuke should not have killed the Titan. That was a bug. So typically a nuke would barely hurt a Titan, but there was some kind of bug there where the nuke actually killed the Titan. And that's so unfortunate for Stagma because that Titan push he was about to do with all these spiders and freakers and demolishers could have actually won him the game. Stagman now asking in the chat what happened to my Titan. Wotan, please nerf. Guys, that was not supposed to... I will have to say, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened there either. It looks like Stagman replying with some nukes of his own. But guys, yeah, that... Look, that nuke should not have taken out the Titan. That was clearly a bug. Okay, like, I think Stagma had a good chance of winning the game there with that Titan push if the nuke had not bugged out and killed everything. That just shouldn't have happened. Clearly that was unintended because one nuke wouldn't really hurt a Titan that much. It would do maybe an eighth of its health, maybe. But it definitely wouldn't one-shot it. So, yeah, I feel really bad for Stag because it seemed like that was Stag's kind of final play here as his base continues to get shelled into oblivion. He got robbed, man. He definitely got robbed. It's sad to see a bug do something like that. Take away what could have been such an epic ending to such a top-tier late-game situation, and I think Stag was about to 1v4 these guys. Man, that would have been amazing. But yeah, it happens, my friends. It can happen. He would have been coming in right before this Gargant got finished, I think, and maybe ending the game with a push. But now this push has no hope at all. It's hard to say whether it would have done it. It would have been close for sure. I mean, the Western team does have some defense. They've got some Krogos. They've got a Centaur. Of course, they have air as well. And nukes. But, man, that's sad. That's really sad because now we'll never know. We'll never know what would have happened if the bug hadn't taken out the entire Titan with one nuke. But yeah, now I don't really think there's much of a chance for poor Stag. He's done his best here. 1v4 is too much. He's continuing to push through. Look at this Gargant. I'm not even sure what this monster even does. More nukes flying over. Walker, I don't even know why he's in the game still. He should have been kicked a long time ago when he left. Yeah. The nuke's now making it through. I'm not sure if that's a bug or if the anti-nukes just ran out of missiles, but either way, guys, what an amazing game. What it was super close the entire way. Even after Stag began to 1v4, he still stood a chance. And I really didn't think the Western team had any chance of winning, and they probably wouldn't have, but when 3 of the players on the Eastern team tapped out, it definitely made it harder. Gave them an opportunity to come back. So, it's unfortunate for Stag. I really don't blame Stag here. I think if that Titan had survived, it would have been a different game. I think he probably would have had enough to break through. I mean, it's hard to say, maybe. I think he definitely would have gotten some damage done. Like, whether or not he won the game, he definitely would have taken out probably at least Pink's base, if not more. And even if a commander came to D-gun that, the D-gun would not kill the Titan, so... Oh, it's such a tragedy, man, I have to say. I'm kind of disappointed about that. I really like, too, what Stag's doing. He's bringing in a lot of spiders. The spiders both act as a kind of a distraction, and they also paralyze the targets. So I think he had a lot of spiders he was going to bring with a Titan, and it just didn't really happen. But yeah, now this game, sort of a foregone conclusion. Stagma is really not able to use his resources. That's not really his fault. He's got 4 players worth of resources by himself, and that would be difficult for anyone to use. He's got ungodly amount of metal. He's got 122,000 energy and over 1,300,000 metal. I mean, it would be difficult to use that in 10 lifetimes, even for 4 players. And yeah, now there is a there's an Avalon on the field. The T4 game-ending rolling land battleship. That was a mouthful. But yeah, with this Avalon and this Gargant, I think things will be closed out rather quickly for our Eastern team. But guys, that was an awesome game all the way up to the end, when the poor Titan got robbed by the nuke. But great job by both teams. Either way, the Western team did a fantastic maneuver, holding on. They literally lasted longer than the Eastern team could. And but I don't blame this on Stag. I definitely blame Stag's teammates, and I blame this nuke bug. But overall, what a fantastic game. I really did not think the Western team had any chance whatsoever. But they held out long enough. They waited out the Eastern team. They relied on the Eastern team having a life and having responsibilities. And they clearly on the Western team live to play TA, live to win. There's nothing else. There's only the victory. Victory at all costs. Now this Avalon, I think, more than enough to kill what's left. Stagma. He's trying to build a Zenith, but I don't think that Zenith will be finished in time before this Avalon sends him to his grave. But yeah, what a fantastic game. We got to see all kinds of crazy units built. We got to see T3 naval and long-range plasma cannons galore, nukes galore, novas galore, explosions galore, everything. That was quite a treat. Yeah, I don't think the Zenith is going to get done. And I might have missed the oh yeah, there's the comm right there. Yeah, I think I missed the Avalon getting D-gun, but it doesn't really matter, guys. Thank you for watching. That was an awesome game. It went on for over 2 hours. The Western team, what an amazing comeback. The nuke bug was a little unfortunate, but overall, still a fantastic game. Stagma is definitely the MVP, though. I think he would have won if that Titan had lived. So, guys, thank you for watching. You know, join my Discord if you want to. I'll have the link in the description, and I will catch you in the next cast.